in search of his 16th win. We're going to see a limited edition of Kershaw tonight. Roughly 5 innings, 75 or so pitches. His priority, the Dodgers' priority, is get him hale, hearty, and healthy for the first game of the playoffs. Meanwhile, a good-looking young right-hander, Dinelson Lamet. He has a record of 7-5 and a 4.60 ERA, but opponents have hit only .203 against him. And you're taking a look at Alex Verdugo. Boy, is he nervous, and entirely understandable. He is making his major league debut tonight. The Dodger lineup tonight has Chris Taylor leading off at short, Granderson in left, and Justin Turner at third base. Bellinger at first, and Grandal is catching. Puig in right, Utley at second base. Verdugo makes his major league debut after hitting .314 at AAA this year, and Kershaw pitching and batting ninth. And what can you tell us about Dinelson Lamet?
Well, I'll tell you, you look at his past 7 starts. He has an ERA of just 2.63. He's allowed 4 hits or fewer in each of those last 7 starts. He has not faced the Dodgers yet. This is his first start in his career versus the Dodgers. But you also look at what he has averaged per strikeouts per 9 innings. 10.99 strikeouts per 9 innings. That is the 5th best mark all time by a rookie pitcher.
He has struck out 105, walked only 38. Closed caption tonight is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. And so here are the Dodgers trying to unleash their burdens. They've lost 5 in a row. They were swept for the first time all year in Phoenix. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So they come to San Diego, and it's a call, strike, 0-1 to Chris Taylor. It was 107 degrees in Phoenix 48 hours ago. Here tonight, it's a balmy 87. It's still warm, especially for San Diego. Taylor, 18 home runs, 65 runs batted in, takes a strike, and it's 0-2. The Padres, long since out of the playoff contention, 32.5 back, have played about 500 balls since the middle of May. The 0-2. Did Taylor go around? Down on strikes. That's Alan Porter, the first base umpire. So Taylor down, and Lamet, talk about his proclivity to strike out folks.
And it's really on that fastball, and the fastball up in the zone just like that one, getting a lot of swings and misses when he attacks him with that fastball up in the zone. I mean, his fastball averages 94, 95 miles an hour, but also that 95 miles an hour to hitters, it looks even harder because it has that, we often hear that late life to it. So it stays at 95 pretty much throughout the entire time it's crossing home plate. And then he also has a slider or a good hard curveball to go with that fastball, but predominantly 2 pitches.
Granderson takes high and outside. One notable number about Lamet: he has held right-handed hitters this year to a 141 batting average. Lefties 268. The 1-1. There's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, you'll be seeing the yellow wristbands worn by everybody tonight, and you see the insignia above the Dodger jersey, or the logo for Granderson and all the other hitters. There's a liner foul, and that is for childhood cancer awareness. Everybody throughout baseball on this day, Friday, September the 1st, wearing those to honor the battle, cancer, childhood awareness. And so throughout baseball, we're seeing that tonight. Foul off to the left and out of play. So this is the first of a 4-game series. We've got a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. It's going to be a long day indeed. First game tomorrow at 12:40. Second game at 7:10. Of course, the Dodgers had a day game after night game in Phoenix. 5 games in the space of about 72 hours as Granderson fouls it off his foot. Again, the Dodgers, their focus is just getting ready for October. Of course, they want to get rid of that losing streak. But is there great desperation? Hardly. Doc. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson breaks his bat, pops it up. 2 gone. Solarte was the lone defender on the left side of the infield.
You were talking about Dave Roberts, and yeah, there is no panic right now. And you talk about getting ready for the postseason. Obviously, you want to clinch, and first and foremost, you have to make it. But he says it doesn't matter whether it's now, the cushion that we have. It's really, they had to have that mentality every day about going out there and playing good baseball, really focusing on that day. Even to build this type of cushion, that was their mentality, and that's what they want to focus on throughout the rest of the season.
When they were winning series after series after series, 56 out of 70, as Turner fouls it back, 0-1. Roberts would not allow the Dodgers the luxury of feeling good about themselves. They've been a business-like operation all year. Here's Rich Hill, Austin Barnes, Hyun-Jin Ryu. 2 out, top of the first. Turner, half swing, fouls it off.
When I look into that dugout, this is that time of year where they need to add more seats in dugouts. You have to add more lockers in locker rooms where you maybe there are times when you're going to certain stadiums and visitor locker rooms where you have to get dressed in shifts because there's so many guys in the locker.
Were you with the club the year the call-up took place at Wrigley Field?
Yes.
The visit. Turner takes call strike 3, doesn't like it. We'll pick up that story a little later on. Joe West has never lost an argument. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Kershaw making his first start in about 5 weeks when we come back. Despite missing all that time, Kershaw still at top of the charts in earned run average at 15-2. He's held opponents to a 197 batting average. And again, his focus tonight, the Dodgers' focus tonight, get him ready for the playoffs. And so to that end, Dave Roberts saying maybe 5 innings, 75 pitches or thereabouts, and away we go. Of course, Kershaw had a rehab assignment last Saturday, which he says he could have lived without. But here he is. We're ready to go. And the first pitch to Manuel Margot is a strike. It's 0-1. Margot at 268, 13 home runs, and 34 runs batted in. He came over from the Red Sox. He was the key in the deal for Greg Kimbrell. And quickly, Kershaw's ahead, 0-2. Hasn't missed a step.
Well, that's really the key. I mean, Dave Roberts talked about 75 pitches by Clayton Kershaw, or 5 innings, somewhere around there.
Margot, slow chopper to second base. Utley can't make the barehanded play.
Margot, speed, and the way this ball was hit early on, Chase Utley made the decision in his head that the only chance that he had was the barehanded, rather than try to get around that with the glove and field it. He might have made the right decision there, because Margot, coming from the left side, was getting down the line.
Swayhe coming up. Left-handed hitting second base with a .279. He's got 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in. So Margot, Swayhe, Pirela, who's on deck. 3 youngsters that the Padres think they can build around. And Kershaw has thrown nothing but strikes. Another note. There's so many notes about Kershaw. This is another eye-opener. Another little chopper. This time Kershaw will throw to first base. Well, Margot just got a piece of it, got an infield hit, and Swayhe bounces weakly back to the box. Thinking about Kershaw. At the end of the year, marathon. His career record in September and October: 25-8, a 186 earned run average. So down the stretch he comes, he gets better than everybody else.
Well, when I look at today's game, obviously being on the DL for so long, and we know Clayton Kershaw, we know how excited he gets come game time. The adrenaline. It's the reason why they took their time, because they wanted to make sure that he was 100%, because when you ramp it up to that next level and the way he gets, they want to make sure his body feels okay and can handle it.
Jose Pirela, a .292 hitter, takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
With that being said, I see this game very similar to a playoff game in a sense, where him being so amped up, you know, finally back out there, especially with the team and watching this team and what they've been doing all year long, where it's really about being able to control those emotions and to be able to have that command on the fastball and attack the hitters.
First pitch he's missed tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, in the 3-game sweep in Arizona, Dodgers gave up 10 runs in the first inning in those 3 games. In the previous 129 games this year, the Dodgers had given up 57 runs in the first inning combined. So it was a rugged 3 days in Arizona. Maeda, 7 runs, 8 hits in 3 innings. Ryu, 6 runs, 8 hits in 4. And Rich Hill, 6 runs, 8 hits in 3 2/3. So Kershaw bringing some stability back. Even with the losing streak, Dodgers are 50 games over 500. 2-1. They haven't hit him hard yet.
And that's what you're looking for Clayton Kershaw early on. You want to see the command of that fastball. And able to get in on the hands and the hitter, especially. There are times when he's from the glove side with that fastball, where a tendency when he's trying to pound that in, it kind of creeps over the middle of the plate. It was a good pitch. Jams him.
Will Myers. Talk about the dog days of August. Down to 233. And he rolls it weakly to short. That's Chris Taylor. It's an easy inning for Clayton Kershaw. No score. We'll go to the 2nd inning from San Diego. Performance Spotlight featuring Cody Bellinger leading off here in the second inning. He has enjoyed facing the Padres in his rookie season. And what a rookie year it has been for Bellinger. 34 home runs. He is second in the National League. And the odds-on candidate to win the National League Rookie of the Year. Bellinger at 271. 1 ball, no strike, second inning. He faces a shift on the right side. First time he is facing Lamet, it's 1-1. So Bellinger, fresh off the disabled list, has shown no ill effects to the ankle injury that he suffered a couple of weeks back. Outside.
When I looked at those numbers of Cody Bellinger, what he's done so far in San Diego, you're going, wait a minute. I mean, this is supposed to be a pitcher's ballpark.
Well, he's turned a lot of pitchers' ballparks into a hitter's ballpark.
Exactly. He's made them all look very small.
Meanwhile, Dinelson Lamet, big fella, 6'4", but a wiry 190. And he can get up there in a hurry. As we mentioned, Dodgers trying to get as many lefties into the lineup against him as they can because he has been murder on right-handed hitters. Not too shabby against the lefty either. That's 3 strikeouts and 4 batters for Lamet.
I mean, it really is impressive that going for your starter, we talked about, he really has he has 3 pitches. He has a fastball, and like I said, the slider, it's kind of in between a slider and a really hard curveball, the amount of break he gets on it. And he has a changeup, but it's a very occasional changeup. And he's only throwing it about, averaging about 6% of the time you'll see the changeup.
Now Grandal. It's outside.
So as a hitter, you're going up there, especially against a starter, you're going, okay, there's 2 pitches I have to look for, but those are 2 really good pitches that he features, and especially that fastball.
Grandal takes high. When does a curveball become a slider?
Well, usually the curveball, when it comes out, it kind of comes over the top of their fingers as compared to coming off that when you throw the slider, it's coming sideways to push to kind of create that late break of a slider.
Visually as a hitter.
As a hitter, you'll see there are some guys where the curveball you actually can see it pop up out of their hand, and that's not necessarily the best ones. Better ones you can see where it's not popping up out of the hand. But as a slider, you know, the curveball you can actually see kind of a different spin coming on the ball. The slider, you'll kind of see a dot on the ball and the way it breaks away from you.
Grandal. Now it's 3 balls and a strike. And you've got about 2/10 of a second to figure that out.
Crazy, huh?
It's a living. On 3-1. Grandal walks for but the 30th time all year.
And the other thing is I'm watching Lamet as well. You touched on it. Yeah, we talked about the average. We're going averaging 95 miles an hour. And when you see now in today's game, well, the 95, okay, yeah, he throws hard, mid-90s, but we've seen guys who throw 98, 99. How come he's so effective with that fastball? Well, also 6'4", too. The release point's a little bit different, so he's also cutting down that time as well, that reaction time.
Now here's Puig at 258, career high 24 home runs. Into center field. Easy play from Morrow off the end of the bat. Two gone. And Chase Utley coming up. Utley at 237. Forsythe gets the night off tonight. And what a career it's been for Chase Utley. And Alex Verdugo, his heart's beating about 100 miles an hour, is in the on-deck circle. Utley takes under the knees, 1 ball and no strikes. You saw that note, Utley over 1,000 career RBIs. Just a 9th active major leaguer in that rarefied air. 2-0. Normally you come down to San Diego, the cool sea breeze, the marine layer, the wind blowing. Well, there's none of that. It's hot and humid and there's no wind at all. There's a strike. And it's 2-1.
Well, you just came from Arizona where it was 106, or was that
107?
107. Okay, I knew I was a little bit off, but I'll tell you, you're right. It is warm, but as a hitter coming into San Diego, we talk about it usually being a pitcher's ballpark. When it's warm like this, you're going, yeah, the ball will carry for you, so you don't mind that.
Well, you got to make contact against a guy like Lamet.
Good point.
3-1. Dodgers have won 9 of 12 against the Padres this year. And you go back to 2012, the Dodgers are 67-38 against San Diego and 33-18 down here. They've treated this much like a weekend getaway. Utley takes a walk, and Alex Verdugo arrived yesterday and ready to play tonight. Backstage Dodger cameras were there, and so thankfully was his equipment bag.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, you and I both had a chance to talk to him today, and I think his attitude was great.
I tell you, it's funny that you show that equipment bag and you mentioned that's the anxiety you have when you get called up. You're like, I hope my equipment bag makes it.
There'd be too much explaining to do.
I'm telling you.
So Verdugo, in 117 games at Oklahoma City, takes a strike, 0-1. He had .314, 6 home runs, 62 runs batted in, had an on-base percentage of .389. So he's not an oh by the way September call-up. This is a guy who's earned his way here. And he takes inside. Mom Shelley, Dad Joe, Sister Maria, and girlfriend Gianna watching on a very big night for them, their son, in his major league debut and his first at bat. 2 on, 2 out. There's a strike. 1-2.
Looking at his face, he's probably going, man, I got a fastball down the middle. What was I waiting for?
Grandal at second, Utley at first. They both walk. There's 2 out here in the second. Well, the Padres don't think he can hit it very far. The outfield's relatively shallow for him. And a ground ball to third. Bobbled by Spangenberg, but still has time to get Alex Verdugo. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left. Kershaw coming back for his second inning. No score in San Diego.
for your Xbox One, your PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast, up-and-play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Your breakout MLB season is here. You better come ready to play. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Well, we learned that Clayton Kershaw is in fine form in the first inning. 10 pitches, 8 strikes. Not a ball hit solidly. In fact, not a ball out of the infield. Yangervis Solarte, switch hitting shortstop, coming up. And he takes a strike, 0-1. So Kershaw has thrown 11 pitches and 9 of them for strikes. Solarte came from the Yankees in the deal that sent Chase Headley to New York. Padres were thrilled the way that deal turned out. He plays second, short, third, switch hitter, and has some power. Kershaw. "13 pitches and 10 strikes." First strikeout.
Well, Solarte's going back upset. It wasn't really the last pitch that he swings and misses, as we see that slider that goes down. Good action, good late break on that slider by Clayton Kershaw to get the swing and the miss, but he was upset with the called strike on him on the curveball before.
This is Jabari Blash at .231, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Turner backs up and throws him out. Kershaw's pitching like a machine.
We talked about it too. And sometimes, I mean, we know Clayton Kershaw. You were talking about Joe West. Never lost an argument. Clayton Kershaw doesn't lose too many either. Especially when they want to come take him out of the game, or then you know you're going to get an argument. But he also knows they have a pitch limit on him as well. So he's out there, and he doesn't want to get taken out of this game early, so he wants to go out there and attack, and it's a great mentality.
He's thinking about a 75 pitch complete game.
Right.
Spangenberg fouls it off to the left, 0-1. Corey Spangenberg at .271. This most of last year. Well, he's faced 7 batters, Kershaw has, and every one of them's been 0-1. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yesterday in Phoenix, he was doing wind sprints. 2 hops to Utley. And the Padres have yet to get the ball out of the infield. 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the 3rd. And Kershaw will be leading it off. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only. Now Kershaw takes a strike, 0-1. He's 6 for 40. And in BP, he is a competitor. It's a ball and a strike. So Kershaw, then the top of the order, Taylor and Granderson. Clayton into left. That's Jose Perella, and that's the first out of the third inning. Both of these pitchers making it look easy. Taylor coming up, and he struck out in his first at-bat. The Dodgers offense slowed up in August. They won 17, lost 10, but hit just .234 in the month. So their team batting average dropped 6 points in the month. They were .260. Oh, there are those kissing cousins.
I was watching those two during batting practice. I was down there behind the cage talking to Turner Ward. And it was Yasiel Puig after his round was done. I mean, the banter amongst those two, the relationship now, the rapport that they have, that Turner Ward has with Yasiel Puig, it's great. And I think it's really just helped Yasiel so much this year. The difference that we've talked about Yasiel, the maturity we've seen at the plate. Talk about outfield, Gold Glove. I mean, if he doesn't win it this year, there's a major problem. But
he's already got a career high in home runs with 24, but above and beyond the home runs, we were talking about it off air before the game. The pitch selection. He doesn't go after that slider and strike out feebly. In fact, this year he's walked 57 times. His on-base percentage is .346, and you have to tip your cap to Turner Ward. He has broken through.
That he has, no question about it. And obviously, Dave Roberts loves it for the obvious reason. When Yasiel Puig hits a home run and he gives Turner Ward a kiss on the cheek. I know the face that Turner Ward has, but he does, it says otherwise. But I think it just says so much, just more that he really has confidence in Turner Ward.
Now Taylor runs very well, and he's going to beat it out. An infield hit. Spangenberg really had no chance, even if he had barehanded it cleanly.
Both teams so far, their only hit has been an infield chopper just like that, where the infield tried to barehand it and couldn't come up with it. Dodgers trying to find something, trying to figure out, especially now, starting that second time through the lineup, seeing Lamet for the second time, seeing if they can make an adjustment after that first time seeing him.
Taylor at first base leads the Dodgers with 15 stolen bases. Granderson facing a shift on the right side of the infield. We saw Taylor waving his hand. That was to third base coach Chris Woodward. You want to see what the sign was again. One out in the third. No balls and one strike. Granderson really hasn't hit all that much for the Dodgers since the trade over from New York, but while hitting just .122, he's got 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. As he fouls it off to the left. Justin Turner is on deck. Dodgers going to have an interesting menu of choices come the playoffs. Who's going to play in the outfield? Who's going to play at all? Granderson on 0-2. Fouls it off to the left and out of play. Will Bellinger, for instance, start at first base or in the outfield? Chris Taylor has become essentially the Dodgers' everyday center fielder, although he's starting at shortstop tonight and has been for a while with Seager and his elbow issues. 0-2 to Granderson.
Well, Chris Taylor essentially has been the true definition of super utility player. I think they throw that name super around when they describe a utility player way too much. But
in some cases, yes.
But he's my definition because he can play all over the field. We've seen it. But you need his bat in the lineup on a daily basis.
Another toss to first base. Taylor, of course, was the 26th man on the 25-man roster when the Dodgers broke camp at the end of March. He had a great spring. He was great at Oklahoma City, and he's been great all year. Granderson just gets a piece of it. And the question was, when Taylor was sent out, could he play the outfield? Well, right now he's essentially the everyday center fielder. Leads the club in stolen bases, 18 home runs, and a .376 on base percentage. Granderson and a short left. Solarte gets out of the way of Morrow. 2 out, and Turner coming up.
Right now the Dodgers still haven't been able to figure out Lamet. Been really effective with this fastball breaking ball mix and having the command of that fastball. And right there we talked about how he's been getting a lot of his strikeouts, a lot of his effectiveness with that fastball up in the zone, and that's where he threw that one and got a weak fly ball to left field.
Padres signed him as an international free agent 3 years ago. As Turner fouls it back, and it's 0-1. He's from the Dominican Republic. And they think now he is a keeper. Took a while to get here. Again, the Padres in the process of rebuilding. In fact, today the Padres fired their hitting coach, Alan Zinter. No balls and a strike to Turner. Well, they are preoccupied with Taylor at first base. Yesterday, the Dodgers held to just a run and 5 hits. Of course, Greinke kept him at bay for 6 innings. There goes Taylor. And he's out. Got a throw by Austin Hedges. They figured he was going to go, and he did, and they got him. No runs and a hit. No score. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Since 2011, the Dodgers coming to San Diego has been like a weekend at Bernie's. 17 games over 500 at Petco. They have abused the Padres. 4-0 against the Padres here this year. And dating back to 2012 overall, the Dodgers are 67-38 against their cousins in San Diego. Now here's Austin Hedges leading it off. Hedges threw out Chris Taylor to end the top half of the third inning, and he grounds it foul up the third baseline, and it's 0-1. It'll be Hedges and Nelson Lamet and Manuel Margot. Hedges born just up a road apiece. 16 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Lines it. That's the hardest hit ball all night off Kershaw to this point. See 20 pitches for Kershaw, 16 for strikes. Padres, albeit the worst offense in the league, 233 team batting average, have yet to put the ball into the outfield.
That was a really good pitch by Clayton Kershaw. Didn't get the call. That didn't miss by much. It was a good 0-2 pitch. One, it looked like, gosh, if he can get that call. But two, even if he does swing at it, he wasn't going to be able to square that ball up.
To the right side. Bellinger, what a play. Kershaw covering. Two primetime athletes.
Well, if you're looking about how you want to test Clayton Kershaw's back, this is one of those plays. As one, as he has to hustle over, you see Bellinger showing off the range, but two, the way he had to reach back as he's going over to first base to make the play. So there's two athletic plays on this play. Bellinger and then Clayton Kershaw as he's trying to get to the bag. Good job. Clayton was hustling as well, so he had time to reach back and still beat him to first base.
Now to Nelson Lamet. Takes high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Lamet has thrown 49 pitches in the first 3 innings. Not much of a hitter, but his last 9 pitches were nothing but strikes. Turner will throw out Lamet. There's 2 out. Now here's Manuel Margot, an infield hit in his first at bat. In fact, the only base runner against Kershaw to this point. Margot, veteran move, taking a nice slow walk to the plate, giving his pitcher a chance to catch his breath. Margot with the infield hit at 270. Boy, Kershaw's throwing nothing but strikes. 25 pitches, 19 of them for strikes. Like that one.
And that one as well. I mean, the curveball, the fastball, that one just missed the spot just a little bit, got over more of the plate than he wanted to. He's also been having the slider working too, especially to righties, that back foot slider.
Just missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the bottom of the third. Margot lucky to just get a piece of it. Red Sox reluctantly gave up Margot to get Craig Kimbrell. Carlos Asueje is on deck. If you're just joining us, Dave Roberts said, look, about 5 innings, 75 or so pitches for Kershaw tonight in his first start since the third week of July.
And he also mentioned that he's going to be paying attention to see if those innings are kind of those stressful innings on Clayton Kershaw. And I wonder how he quantifies the amount of stressful innings. Are they the back end of a good and tore in that 5th inning? Are they the front end? Are they cumulative?
There's been nothing stressful to this point. 2 strikeouts for Kershaw. He's retired 9 in a row. Kershaw on top of his game in his first one back.
Off, and you might notice Justin Turner wearing a different bit of footwear on the off day on Monday. Justin Turner was at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and look at the shoes. He had several different patients at CHLA, thanks to our Backstage Dodgers cameras for being there, decorate these special cleats. Of course, September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. You guys were talking about that earlier. Justin taking it a bit further than just the yellow wristbands and yellow shoelaces, having several different patients be able to decorate his shoes and wearing those today to show his commitment of raising awareness for childhood cancer, guys.
It really is a wonderful homecoming story for Justin Turner, whose career was really on the precipice when the Mets said, go find work elsewhere. The Dodgers said, well, okay, come home, young man. At first, he was in competition for the starting job at second base. Dee Gordon would win that. But over time, Turner has really grown in not only to his role with the Dodgers, but within the community, having grown up in Southern California, and he is a Dodger through and through. And at .326, and while slumping lately, he's the second leading hitter in the National League. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And of course, he was the write-in candidate to get to the All-Star game. One of 6 Dodgers at the All-Star game back in July. A little bloop base hit. Dodgers' second hit of the night. Turner a leadoff hit here in the 4th.
That's a beautiful thing, and we were just talking about Justin Turner in his last 11 games. He was just batting just .186 in his last 11 games. He's struggling just a little bit at the plate. You know, he's been so good at the plate all year long. When you're looking for something to get out of it, it's kind of hits like that. You're going, all right, he was frustrated at the pitch before that, being called a strike on the outer half. Then you get a breaking ball, just kind of reach out and falls in for you.
Now here's Bellinger, who struck out swinging in his first at bat. Dodgers with 2 hits. Padres have 1. We're in the top of the 4th. Inside and low, 1 ball, no strikes to Cody Bellinger. Shift on the right side for Bellinger. The outfield very deep. And Morrow shaded toward right. There's a strike. 1-1. Well, Cody's mom is there, and right behind Mrs. Bellinger, the family of Alex Verdugo. Hey, let's go watch our kids play tonight. What do you say?
Remember we were all together watching them in Oklahoma City earlier this year?
Well, Alex is there a little bit longer than Cody. But what an impact Bellinger has made. And the Dodger offense really turned sluggish when he went onto the disabled list. Lamet beats him for the second time. That's the fourth strikeout for Nelson Lamet.
Here's that breaking ball by Lamet that we were talking about, and what sets this up to get a swing like that from Cody Bellinger is his effectiveness with the fastball. Because when you looked at that pitch by Lamet, you got to look for 95. He's been beating a lot of hitters. You got to assume he's going to attack you with that fastball, and it's usually kind of up in the zone. That's where that ball started, and then the bottom just fell out of it.
Yasmani Grandal. No balls and one strike. With Puig on deck. So the Dodger offense has been quiet essentially since the early part of August. And now Seager's out of the lineup. Bellinger, of course, just back.
When I look at just even the last 5 games, it just seems like from starting pitching to the offense, they haven't been in sync. Usually what we've seen from the Dodger offense, it would be late in the games trying to make that comeback, but it's a little too late. By then the starting pitcher had already given up too many runs, and they were find themselves just battling back the entire time, or behind to try to play catch up, rather than the offense scoring early to help the pitchers out and then closing it out. So just right now they're just trying to find something, and they sure would like to get something on the board the way Clayton Kershaw's looked so far.
Boy, has he looked great too. 31 pitches in 3 innings. He's thrown only 7 balls. And the Padres have yet to get the ball out of the infield. Lamet has gone 0-2 to 6 of the first 14 hitters he's faced. Talk about getting ahead in the count. Randall takes high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Nelson Lamet. D-I-N-E-L-S-O-N. Has given up 3 earned runs or less in each of his last 7 starts. Two balls and 2 strikes.
When I look among the pitchers this year with at least 16 games started in the National League, he ranks 3rd with that 10.99 strikeout to 9 inning ratio. He's just behind Max Scherzer and Robbie Ray.
Pretty good company.
Yeah.
He's already struck out 4 in 3 1/3. He has struck out 5 in 3 2/3.
There's that breaking ball. Started off. I mean, coming out of. You were asking me earlier, Charlie, about the difference between that curveball and a slider. And I was telling you how that curveball has a tendency to pop and kind of goes up out of the hand. that slow motion picture right there, it's not coming up out of his hand. It actually is released the same spot as his fastball. It looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. And so when it's in the trajectory down the middle of the plate, you swing at it and then the bottom falls out of it. So if you can't pick up that spin too, you're in a lot of trouble and get swings and misses just like that.
Puig fly to center in his first at bat, and it's 0-1. It was on Tuesday night, the first game of the 3-game set in Arizona. Puig hit a home run. You could almost hear the ball screaming on the way out. It was hard, hit 443 feet. Rarely do you see a line drive home run to center. Whew. But he's been locked in. And it's a strike. 0-2.
Lamet has been getting that call all game. We've seen some frustration from some of the Dodger hitters, but I'll tell you, it's been called consistently out there. So
by Joe West.
And the Dodgers have to make that adjustment.
Puig in the last 2 weeks is hitting .353. That's a slider he used to swing and miss at. .24 home runs, 62 runs batted in. But now his ability to work the count, take the walk, has made him a much more well-rounded hitter. On 1-2. There goes Turner. And there goes Puig. Got like a call from Joe West. Lamet strikes out the side. No runs and a hit. No score. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
Dodger rookie to throw away their trash. Be at Dodger Stadium on Sunday, September 10th, when the Dodgers close out the Rockies series at 1:10. The first 12,000 kids 14 and under in attendance will receive a kid's trash can presented by Hi-Chew. Get a Hi-Chew, throw away the wrapper in that trash can. So visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Well, the Dodger fans and the kids are out in full force tonight. First pitch at the bottom of the 4th from Clayton Kershaw, just his 32nd. As Carlos Asuaje fouls it off to the right. It's 0-1. For the first 2 hitters in the Padre lineup, Margot and Asuaje, came over from the Red Sox in the Kimbrel deal. And those are the kinds of deals a team like San Diego has to make in rebuilding a franchise, really from the bottom up. As Wahei Perella and Will Myers will hit in the bottom of the fourth. And for Kershaw, his third strikeout, he has retired 10 straight.
We've seen Clayton Kershaw with that fastball on the arm slide for a strike, glove side for a strike, and even up in the zone for a strike.
And the Padres have yet to get the ball to the outfield. Perella popped to second in his first at bat, takes inside. Now remember, in the open we were talking about on Dave Roberts' wish list about 5 innings or 75 pitches. He's got still 40 more pitches on his leash. And he's been in command of every pitch. Missing outside. He knew it the moment he released the pitch.
And he's mad at himself.
Yeah.
Because we know he's such a perfectionist.
The ball had not yet reached the plate, and he was ticked. So he makes up for that.
And backswing got a little piece of Yasmani Grandal. He's okay. Perella goes after this curveball in the back, gets on the top of the helmet.
One of the advantages of the hockey goaltender's mask. The fourth strikeout will be completed by the throw from Grandal to Bellinger.
He gets him on the curveball on the pitch before, as we take a look at a Morongo Casino slow-mo cam, and then he comes back with the same pitch and gets him swing and a miss. Good block by Grandal to keep it close and make the play at first base. Before the game, Dave Roberts was talking about Clayton Kershaw, and they asked him the expectations. He says, well, you know, we all expect Clayton Kershaw to be himself, but he goes, wouldn't be surprised if he's not as sharp. You know, maybe a little bit of rust.
That's what he's going with, huh?
Right. I'm like, are you surprised the way he's looking right now? Because he looks in command and looks like himself out there.
40 pitches, 31 for strikes. Ahead of Will Myers, who pops it up. Foul well out of play. When Kershaw was initially placed on the disabled list, they said, oh, about 4 to 6 weeks. On the 1st of September. Well, it was 4 to 6 weeks. It is the 1st of September. And he strikes out Will Myers and strikes out the side. 4 strikeouts in a row for Kershaw. 5 on the night. Wahei, Perella, and Myers. is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Save big on a reliable new 2017 Camry. Now at Toyota's National Clearance Event. Top half of the 5th inning. And Nelson Lamet, who struck out the side in the top of the 4th, to be matched by Kershaw, who struck out the Padres in order in the bottom half of the 4th. Dodgers with 2 hits. The Padres have 1. Utley leading it off. Jays a walk in his first plate appearance. Alex Verdugo in his major league debut on deck, and then Kershaw. Utley takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Ball outer edge for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, the Dodgers have not been able to figure out Lamet. They've only had one at bat in this game with a runner in scoring position. They got a leadoff batter last inning on, and then he strikes out the side. Talk about how well Kershaw has been doing. Lamet has been equally as effective.
Utley at .237 with 7 home runs. That's 4 strikeouts in a row. And 8 of the 16 batters that the Dodgers have set up against Lamet have faced 0-2 counts. And the last 4, Bellinger, Grandal, Puig, and now Utley struck out. And here is Alex Verdugo, who bounced out to third base in his first at bat on a night he will never forget. Outside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. There's the family. Mom, dad, sister, girlfriend. Hoping for that first base hit and the first big league souvenir. Verdugo played 117 games at Oklahoma City, where he hit .314.
He's like, okay, I got 3-0. I wonder if Dave Roberts tell him, listen, I let a lot of guys go ahead and swing away 3-0. That's one thing Verdugo has done, though. His on base percentage, as you mentioned before, close to 400 down there in the minor leagues, but he has more walks than he has strikeouts this year in the minor leagues.
And the first time he's gotten on board in his big league career. The Bellinger family and then the Verdugo family cheering on Alex Verdugo. Yeah, that was the note in going through his numbers. Verdugo, 52 walks and only 50 strikeouts. The only Dodger who can make that claim at the big league level this year is Justin Turner.
You really just look at what they scouting report on him. Just finds a way to get on base. Really just some raw power, goes the other way. Line drive hitter.
Kershaw, you think I'm going to bunt? Not on your life.
And speaking of line drive hitter, Kershaw heard the scouting report on Verdugo and says, oh yeah, well, watch this. Squares around, everyone's crashing. Fastball right down the middle. Talked about this Dodger lineup, unable to figure out Lamet. Well, Kershaw figured him out right there. That's the hardest ball I think we've seen hit off Lamet so far by the Dodgers. So I think everyone should come up square round and then swing away.
Their first threat of the night, first and second, 1 out. And Chris Taylor, who got aboard on an infield hit in his first at bat. You hear the loud Dodger contingent at Petco Park. One ball, no strikes to Chris Taylor.
Austin Hedges, I don't know how he got that ball. He looked a little bit surprised that he came up with that ball. Fastball in the dirt. He's like, let me go talk to him. Watch this. Fastball in the dirt. I mean, the way it's coming, his eyes open is like, whoo. Right on the. He snow coned that with the catcher's mitt.
There was no such thing as snow cones with catcher's gloves 40, 50 years ago when there were those pizza pan catcher's gloves. So here's Taylor with first and second. 2 balls and no strikes. Taylor on the year, he's hitting .306, but with runners in scoring position, he's hitting .330. By the way, as a leadoff hitter, this is his 51st game with the Dodgers batting first. He's hitting .345. Here's the 2-0. 2 balls and 1 strike. Granderson is on deck. So the 1-out walk for Verdugo. Kershaw's line drive single into center. And the Dodgers with their threat with 1 out in the 5th. He's right. Slider with a bite.
That one just, he kind of missed with that as far as where he wanted it. He wanted that away. That one stayed up in the zone, but he was able to catch the top part of the strike zone.
Two and two. Dodgers never led in Arizona. And didn't lead in the final 2 games at home before hitting the road. So this would be something new. 8th strikeout for Dinelson Lamet.
Something we haven't seen Chris Taylor do too much this year. One, he's still balanced. It seems like his timing, even on breaking balls, is right on. And just missing that pitch.
2 out, and here's Granderson. He's popped to third, flied to left. The outfield of Barella, Margot, and Blash. They're straight away for Curtis Granderson. 4 home runs since coming to the Dodgers. Fouls it off to the left, and it's 0-1. Dodgers scored a run in the 2nd inning yesterday in Phoenix and haven't scored a run since. Outside and high. Turner's on deck. Come to San Diego, you hear 4 people screaming, beat LA. Granderson checks his swing. That's third base umpire Chris Siegel. 2-1. Granderson hoping to get untracked. Verdugo at the bottom of your screen in his major league debut. He's at second base after the walk. Granderson continues to scuffle.
Just impressed with the pitches by Lamet. We have not seen the Dodgers really look almost just so out of sync with the breaking ball this year from Lamet. You see these swings. We saw Cody Bellinger, the swing he took, where it was just like, oh, I've already committed. Seemed like right there. Granderson, the same thing. But they're not just recognizing the pitch out of Lamet's hand.
Greinke struck out 8 Dodgers in 6 innings yesterday. And Lamet has struck out 8 to this point through 4 2/3. He struck out the side in the 4th, has 2 strikeouts here in the 5th. 6'4" and 180. He looks bigger than that. He is certainly throwing bigger than that. 2-2 with 2 out. He has struck out the side. Lamet has in 2 consecutive innings. 9 strikeouts through 5 and no score after 4½.
Game still scoreless, and we're going to see why as we take a look at the Cardinals cam. Clayton Kershaw looking sharp, coming off the DL. But then Lamet for the Padres has really kept these Dodger hitters off balance so far through 5 innings pitched for him. It's 9 strikeouts. Right now, the only thing that look at Kershaw being a little bit more efficient than Lamet. But at the same time, Lamet, wow, Dodgers have opportunities but can't find a way to try to put someone across the board.
Lamet struck out the side in the 4th and 5th innings. Kershaw has struck out the last 4 batters he has faced. Justin Turner going over to give Kershaw another breath or 2. Solarte, a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. You see the 42 pitches for Kershaw. 10 in the 1st, 8 in the 2nd, 13 in the 3rd, 11 in the 4th inning. He's got 5 strikeouts and just 42 pitches. And as usual, getting ahead in the count. Solarte, a switch hitter. Lamet, by the way, he's got the 9 strikeouts through 5. His career high is 12 in a young career. One ball, one strike. Solarte with Jabari Blash on deck. Kershaw's slider has Solarte in a hole. One and two, beginning the bottom of the 5th. I think it's safe to say Kershaw has shown absolutely no ill effects after his stint on the DL. Missing just high.
Well, we know he's throwing a few simulated games, and you obviously can't simulate the adrenaline and the environment pitching in a big league game. I remember hearing Chase Utley saying, yeah, he looks pretty good. He might have a chance in this game.
Solarte just gets a piece of it. It's still remarkable when you look over the course of Kershaw's career to this point. Last month of the season, he's been at his best throughout his career. 25-8 in September and October. Backhanded stab by Taylor. No way. First hit for the Padres since Margot's leadoff single in the first inning.
Great effort by Taylor, but was going to be a tough play once you go deep in the hole. You lay out for that ball to try to get Solarte hustling down to first base. Great effort. Glad that Cody Bellinger just recognizing that Solarte was going to be safe and making sure he got that ball.
Had no choice but to step off the bag and make the play. Now here's Blash. He bounced to third in his first at bat. And it is 0-1. Hunter Renfroe has been struggling. Power hitting right fielder, but not a lot of average. He'll be back in another day or two, and so Blash has been getting a lot of playing time. It may have been the loudest ball off the bat tonight. Padres have yet to get the ball out of the infield. Padres got off to a miserable start, but since May 21st, they played .500 ball. Sixth strikeout for Kershaw.
Well, fans, barbecue and Labor Day go hand in hand, pun intended, at a baseball game, and you have the perfect end of summer. Be at Dodger Stadium on Monday when the Dodgers meet the D-backs. If you're one of the 40,000 fans in attendance, you'll receive a Dodger barbecue glove presented by Security Benefit. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Well, if you like strikeouts, you've come to the right game. The last 11 outs in this game have been strikeouts. Kershaw, his last 5 outs, strikeouts. And Lamet struck out the side in the 4th and then again in the 5th. No balls and 1 strike to Corey Spangenberg. He bounced to second in his first at bat. Six strikeouts for Kershaw, 9 for Dinelson Lamet. When Kershaw first came up, one of the weaknesses he had in his game, he had no pickoff move, primarily because he never had base runners up against him coming up. Well, that was a weakness. It was quickly corrected, and now he's got among the best pickoff moves in the game.
And when he came up, he didn't have a slider either. He's got one of the best of those in the game now too.
Give me something to work on.
Right.
No balls and 2 strikes to Spangenberg. Just outside. 1 and 2.
Just off the plate. Good pitch by Clayton Kershaw. When you miss off the plate right like that, you actually set him up for numerous pitches. You can go fastball in. You can come back with another breaking ball. Now I don't know where that one was, because that one looked like it came back over the middle or caught the corner of the plate for a strike. That's where this started, and it's not high. It doesn't look in either.
2 and 2 to Spangenberg. He's down on strikes. 7th strikeout for Kershaw. And the last 6 outs recorded by Clayton have been the strikeout. Well, that was a pitch he didn't have when he was coming up.
Yep, that was the one. And the rest of the league said, great, he added that one too.
Fastball, slider, curve. Thanks a lot. 2 out, Austin Hedges, robbed of a base hit on the combination play by Bellinger, making a backhanded stab, and then a quick throw to Kershaw covering it first. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Phil Maton is warming up in the San Diego bullpen. Lamet in the on deck circle. Turner will throw out Hedges, and another easy inning for Clayton Kershaw. Now we have no score going to the 6th.
devastating flooding of Hurricane Harvey. And the Dodgers announcing today, guys, their support to the Hurricane Harvey relief efforts in Houston through both a $100,000 donation to the Houston Food Bank and also by contributing 5,000 fleece blankets to the Dream Center in Texas. And also, if Dodger fans are going to the game on Wednesday, be sure to buy a 50-50 raffle ticket. The Dodgers Foundation donating proceeds from its in-game 50-50 raffle, also in support of the Houston Food Bank. Dodgers fans, go to houstonfoodbank.org/Dodgers to join in the effort.
Thanks, Alana. We are all in it together. Justin Turner will lead it off in the 6th inning against Dinelson Lamet. First time the Dodgers have ever seen him. If they never see him again, it'll be too soon. And here's Turner, who's 2 for 2. He has 2 of the Dodgers' 4 hits tonight.
We talked about Justin Turner in his last 11 games hitting under 200. Talked about his hit, his last at bat, where he just kind of reached out a breaking ball, kind of got it over right in front of the center fielder. That one, it's not the same. Stayed inside that ball nicely and drove that ball to left center.
Dodgers looking for their first run in the last 12 innings. Bellinger 0 for 2, struck out twice. And he pokes a hole into left field. The shift was on, and said, thank you, I'll go the other way.
Good job by Cody Bellinger. I mean, we talked about how effective Lamet has looked against these Dodger hitters, and even his last at bat when he struck out, got him on a breaking ball, just kind of made him look silly, where he was just frustrated that he ended up swinging at that ball instead of getting big right there, especially after a leadoff hit. Tennessee is like, okay, this is the inning. Now I'll get to him and I can drive the ball. No, he just gets the first pitch and goes the other way, kind of pass the baton. And this is when we see the Dodger lineup being effective throughout the year, when they have that mentality when they come to the plate.
Well, here's Grandal. The Dodgers with a threat, 1st and 2nd, nobody out, scoreless in the 6th. Lamet's 90th pitch.
Well, this inning, the Dodgers have been aggressive. There were 2 pitches, 2 hits. And that one, he threw another strike right there to Yasmani Grandal. They realized we're not going to wait around. This guy's get behind on him. He's got that pitch to put you away.
Well, they're beginning to beef up the pitch count on the 25-year-old right-hander. Bill Maton had been warming up in the bullpen a bit earlier. Well, once you get to know Lamet, at least you have a better shot at it.
Yet that's still pretty decent numbers.
So the 3rd time around, they start to pick away at him. Dodgers had 1st and 2nd with 1 out in the 5th. Came up empty. Now they've got 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Grandal at the plate, and Puig, who's been hot, on deck. Grandal takes a strike. And it's 1-2.
And here for Yasmani, I mean, this is one where you're trying to just get the ball into the right side. Even if it's an out, it's a productive out, where you want to just not get where it's a double play, but at least try to get Justin Turner over the 3rd base with less than 2 outs.
90 feet of real estate. And on 1-2. Instead, Lamet, his 10th strikeout of the game.
We've seen the strikeouts once again with the breaking ball. He's been able to go climb the ladder with a fastball to get Dodger hitters swinging. There with the breaking ball that they just can't seem to square up. Like I said, that was a big at bat for the Dodgers right now. When you're looking at this game, just 0-0. They've had opportunities going into that bat. That was their 4th at bat, runners in scoring position. But they have 1st and 2nd, nobody out. At least get somebody over, because then it just totally changes the dynamic of this at bat for Yasiel Puig, where he can just set his sights up to at least try to get the ball in the air. But now trying to look for that base hit.
Puig is third in the league in having bounced into 20 double plays. More often than not, he hits the ball hard on the ground.
And even at this point, when he's getting late in the game, we're going in the 6th inning, and this pitcher's been so effective. And you talk about him being able to hit that ball, that double play ball. You still got to set your sights up, try to drive something. You got to give the pitcher and tip your hat at the bottom part of the zone, because you look at your team and you haven't been able to put a next play.
He'll hurt in the morning, but he'll have a ball to show how it happened. I got it. Boom! No doubt. No doubt.
Had it all the way.
And he kept the glasses on the bridge of his nose. 1-1 to Puig with Utley on deck. That guy's going to go home and get into a hot bath tonight. Puig is flied to center and taking a call, third strike. The last 7 outs recorded by Lamet have all been strikeouts. 10 on the night. Had it stayed fair, it would have been an out anyway. 2 gone.
Yasiel Puig took a good swing on that. He just missed it. That's what we've seen actually against Lamet on his breaking ball. Either complete miss or just barely missing it. Oh, that was the pitch, and he knew it.
Now it's up to Utley. So the Dodgers at first and second with 1 out in the 5th. First and second, nobody out here in the 6th. Still looking for their first clutch hit. Utley has walked and struck out. Turner's at second, Bellinger's at first. They've been out there a while. Hedges with the block.
Nice stop by Hedges. And that's the other reason why, you know, if they were able to get that productive out and move the runner over, it also takes away that pitch from the pitcher where he's thinking, okay, I can bury that, get that swing and a miss, which he's been effective with. And it puts it in the back of his mind, like maybe I don't want to, because a wild pitch scores that run.
There's a strike to Utley, and it's 1-1. Well, the Rockies, they're taking on some water, and the Diamondbacks, who of course, had their way with the Dodgers in the 3-game series. They've got the weekend series in Denver tonight. Arizona's rolling over Colorado 9-3 in the 7th. One ball, 1 strike to Chase Utley. Verdugo is on deck. Turner the lead run at second. Bellinger's at first. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. This kid has not been flustered in the least tonight. 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, and now 100 pitches. He is due to lead off in the bottom half of the 6th. What will Andy Green do? Two on, 2 out. Utley barely stays alive.
look at Lamet, what he's done. Most he's thrown in a game, 105 pitches. He's done that twice. Did it his last outing.
So one would think he's due to lead off in the 6th of a scoreless game. This may be his last inning. If it were up to him, Utley'd be his last hitter. Phil Maton had been warming earlier for San Diego. Their bullpen is quiet for the moment. Now Hedges wants to go out and talk to Lamet, get their signal straight. Dodgers no runs and 5 hits. The Padres no runs and 2. And Kershaw has been brilliant through his 5 innings to this point. Just 59 pitches. One ball and 2 strikes. Utley. We'll see another pitch. Day-night doubleheader tomorrow. Pulling a double shift. The first game, first pitch 12:40. The second game at 7:10. And Utley delivers a base hit into center field. Here comes Turner to score. On his way to third is Bellinger. The Dodgers take a 1-0 lead on Chase Utley's 2-out single into center field.
Great at bat by Chase Utley. Fouled off some tough pitches. Lamet being so effective this entire game. Gets a fastball in the outer half, stays on it, drives it right back up the middle. We were talking about Yasiel Puig. It was so important for Yasiel Puig. We talked about how he hits into double plays where you got to at least give Chase a chance. Look up in the zone, and he popped up. But for moments like that, Chase Utley to be able to come through and not going to run.
That base hit was nearly a doubleheader. Lamet had to get out of the way, and second base umpire Rob Drake had to get out of the way. A crackling line drive for Utley, his 30th RBI of the season. And here's Alex Verdugo. He's bounced out and walked in his major league debut. Bellinger leading off second. And Utley dancing about a third of the way towards second base before retreating. Now Hedges looks into the Padre dugout. Wants to make sure everybody's on the same page should Utley try to steal second. Will there be a throw through, and if so, who's going to be at the receiving end? One and 0 to Verdugo. There's a strike. There's 1-1.
Be interesting what Dave Roberts does here. What I mean by that is he might give Verdugo a couple chances to get his first base hit, big RBI here. And if he gets 2 strikes, then he might try to see if he can steal a run. Plus you got Chase with some speed and Bellinger at third base with speed.
Here's the 1-1. There we go. 1-2. Verdugo in 117 games. Oklahoma City Dodgers this year. Not a lot of power, 6 home runs, but 136 base hits, a .314 average. Mentioned earlier, one of those rare young players who actually walks more than he strikes out. 52 walks, 50 strikeouts, a .389 on base percentage. And a terrific defender in center field where he's starting tonight. 1-2. Here goes Utley. Ground ball to first, but Myers has it, and that's going to do it. Turner, the leadoff single, comes home on the 2-out single by Utley after 5.5. Kershaw and the Dodgers lead it 1-0.
Athlete, then nominate them for a chance to be named a Spectrum Sports Championship Drive Scholar Athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. Go to SpectrumChamp.com now for more information.
That was the last inning for Dinelson Lamet. First time the Dodgers have seen him, and was he ever impressive? 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, and of those 107 pitches, 63 for strikes. And Caesar's going to pinch hit for him in the bottom of the 6th in what may well be Clayton Kershaw's last inning of work. And Kershaw, 7 strikeouts and no walks, 59 pitches through 5 innings. The former Cub Matt Caesar takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Takes high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2 to Caesar. In the top of the order, Manuel Margot and Carlos Azuaje. 1-0 Dodgers. Big slow curve. Taylor gets Caesar by a step. That's the first out of the 6th. Wherever you play, Chris Taylor, he's going to play. He showed a good arm. Caesar runs reasonably well.
We talked about it earlier. We talked about he's a true super utility player. Need that bat in the lineup, but can play anywhere in the infield if you ask him. Now pretty much the starting center fielder. He's not playing there because of Corey Seager right now, nursing a sore elbow, but starting center fielder and never played outfield before.
And Margot lofts it to the right side. Bellinger makes the play. 2 gone.
Nice play by Bellinger, recognizing how close he was to the stands, taking a few peeks. And I'll tell you, what will be interesting is where the pitch count is after this inning for Clayton Kershaw, and what Dave Roberts would choose. You know, Clayton Kershaw is leading off the next inning. If he can have a quick inning, we see Brandon Morrow up. But you know that If it's up to Clayton Kershaw, and we did Dave Roberts talk about, he says, I'm going to look at the pitch count and look how deep he goes and also factor in stressful innings.
He hasn't had many stressful innings, that's for sure. 65 pitches. He said 5 and 75. Well, he's at 6 and 65. And has given up 2 infield hits. There has not yet been an outfield putout tonight. As Wahe has bounced back to Kershaw and has struck out. Not the only one. Kershaw's fan 7. The slider's been right on the money tonight. Now 3-2, and I think it's the first 3-ball count of the night.
Yeah, Charlie, I think it is as well. We have, I mean, Clayton Kershaw has really been getting ahead of hitters, pounding that strike zone.
So a 3-ball count, does that count as a stressful inning? Second hop, Taylor. Another terrific inning for Clayton Kershaw, and if it was his last, no runs, 2 hits, and 7 strikeouts. And the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead heading to the 7th.
LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Clayton Kershaw, a job well done. His first start since going on the disabled list 5 weeks ago. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 3-ball count all night. This is Phil Maton. He's in with Nelson Lamet out. And it's just like a walk down memory lane. Kershaw is out, and pinch hitting for him is Andre Ethier. Getting a standing ovation in San Diego. Boy, it's good to see Andre back. It's outside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Isn't it strange? Andre Ethier, a September 1st call-up. He has gone through injury miseries really the last 2 years. Fouls it off to the left.
Yeah, he has, and it was great to see the Dodger faithful just appreciating Andre Ethier, giving him a great ovation when he stepped up to the plate. We saw this last year too when you're talking about the injuries. Andre dealing with injuries last year as well, but coming down toward the end of September and impacting the team down the stretch.
1-1. Ethier takes high. Padres have the shift on him for the right side of the infield. 12 years all with the Dodgers. His first game in his hometown in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. That was then. This is now, and a ground ball to third. So Larte will throw him out. First out of the 7th. Good to see number 16 back in a Dodger uniform. Now here's Chris Taylor, who's 1 for 3. Maton grew up in the Illinois, Kentucky borderline. Born in Paducah, Kentucky, lives in Chatham, Illinois. This is his rookie year. Taylor takes high, and it's 1-1. For Maton, his 36th appearance in 32 innings, 34 strikeouts.
It was kind of a late call against Chris Taylor. He didn't like that call. He thought it might have just broken off the outer part of the plate. Watch this pitch right here going down. Nope, it's late call.
1-2. Taylor smacks a base hit into left field. Chris Taylor 2 for 4. 1 out single to left.
Well, Dodger fans, here's your chance to have a slice of blue heaven. Join the 2018 Dodger family by signing up now for the season's seat or mini plan wait list. Registered fans will be contacted by a Dodger season ticket representative on a first come first served basis. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets or call 866 Dodgers today.
Granderson is 0 for 3. He's popped a third fly to left and took a call, third strike. Brandon Morrow continues to warm in the Dodger bullpen. Another note about Kershaw's performance tonight: 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 1 3-ball count. 76% of his pitches tonight were for strikes. The shift on for Granderson. Takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Justin Turner on deck. 1-run games this year. The Dodgers are 22 and 14. Padres are a game under 500 in 1-run games. Granderson takes high. Kershaw continues to be the preeminent stopper. Following a Dodger loss in his career, he's made 138 appearances, and coming into this game, he was 66 and 28. And this year, following a loss, merely 8 and 1. When they need to stop the bleeding, it is Kershaw who brings the tourniquet. The 3-1. Hard ground ball foul. Seeing is believing. So when the Dodgers have lost a game the night before, here's Kershaw to the rescue. He's 8-1. The Dodgers 9-1 this year.
And once again, he's done his job, and now it's going to be up to the bullpen to do theirs. Oh, got him. Ooh. That was close. They're going to have another look because they got Chris Taylor leaning on that one.
Alan Porter's the umpire. And
I think he got him. I think he got the hand right when he comes back. Watch, see him get the hand before. I know the tag was on the shoulder. You see that at the end, but I think he got the hand first before the glove hit the shoulder.
And so Porter, who made the call, and Joe West, the crew chief. You know, the hand may have gotten in and the tag may have been on the shoulder. Well, that's what they're going to look at. You're looking at Joe West, the crew chief. He has umpired more games than anybody ever. Over 5,000.
Watch the front knee of Maton. Front knee. It kind of goes first, and that's why Chris Taylor was leaning. He was gonna go. He looked at that front knee, kind of bent the front knee first, so that's what got him leaning. But I'll tell you, when he goes back, you see that tag on the shoulder. I was just wondering is when he actually first goes back, if the glove kind of hits the hand as it was sliding in. Right there, I'm wondering if he gets his fingers or his hand there prior to him tagging him in the face, ultimately. And then the question is, even if he does tag him up in the shoulder, did he get the shoulder still before that tag was in there?
And the answer is, you're out. So Taylor's picked off. There's 2 gone.
But it was that front knee of Maton that really got Chris Taylor going. He was looking to steal. That was his key, and then was able to pick him off.
Now it's 3-2 to Granderson with Turner on deck. To second base, Azuaje throws out Granderson, and that'll end the inning. 7th inning stretch in San Diego. Dodgers are running 7 hits. The Padres no runs in 2. Ball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Talk about a game changer and perhaps a pennant chase changer. Justin Verlander is going to Houston. Rookie of the Year 2006, a Cy Young Award winner, an MVP winner, All-Star 6 times. And they've got him for a couple of more years, and the Astros have had a great year this year. Just got even better.
Oh, and he was effective against the Dodgers over there in Detroit when he pitched against them. Everybody, all the baseball was wondering if this deal was going to happen. There was a lot of talks, a lot of rumors, and it had to get done before today. They had to do it yesterday because he had to be in the organization prior to September 1st to be eligible for the postseason.
The clock struck midnight. Here's Brandon Morrow. Boy, what a year he's had. His 35th appearance. Earned an average of 212, and opponents are hitting a measly 169. Averaging better than a strikeout an inning, and he can muscle up a fastball about 98 miles an hour. Missing high and inside. One ball. I think that it was a strike. Late call for Joe West. And it's 0-1. Perella 0 for 2. Popped out. And struck out. Morrow quickly ahead. 0-2. So you got Perella, Myers, and Solarte coming up for the Padres in the bottom of the 7th. Kershaw's brilliant 6 innings tonight. It's high. 1-2. Morrow's been a model of consistency out of the pen this year. Scoreless innings in his last 8 outings, and has held hitters to a 138 average. On the year, opponents hitting just 169 against him. Perella, right-handed hitter. Myers on deck, right-handed hitter, and Solarte is a switch hitter. And the first strikeout for Morrow.
Hits him with a good breaking ball. You have to, as a hitter, you have to look for 98, 99 coming out of Morrow's hand, and as you see that, and that ball started down, looked like a fastball, and the slider breaks away. Just looking at this Dodger lineup, you know, starting the game, you got Verdugo in center, Taylor playing short, Bellinger at first. All those guys started in Oklahoma City this year when the season started, and same thing with Morrow on the hill now.
The depth of the Dodger franchise. 1 through 40. Myers 0 for 2. Struck out once. Myers tends to strike out quite a bit. In fact, this entire Padre team is prone to strike out. On the season, they have struck out 1,230 times. Only 2 teams have struck out more than they have.
When I also look at Myers, starting this season, going by May 5th. May 5th is the key day. He was batting .320. Well, since May 5th, he's at the lowest batting average in the major leagues at a .202.
And it didn't get any higher. Nope.
This was a really good pitch by Morrow. I mean, he just paints the outside corner. Just playing catch with Yasmani Grandal right where he's set up. Great pitch.
Trevor Story leads the National League, having been struck out 157 times. Keon Broxton of Milwaukee has been struck out 156. And Myers has now been struck out 152 times. Solarte takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the Dodger bullpen throughout the year has been the best in the National League. The group's ERA is 2.9. Their 1-loss record is 29-12, and opponents are hitting a mere .209 against them. And there's the king of the hill, Kenley Jansen, with Edward Paredes warming up in front of him. Which is interesting to see Paredes getting ready to pitch the 8th inning. Kenley with a sweatshirt on a night where he doesn't need one. We began in San Diego tonight at 87 degrees.
And I think Paredes up. Dave Roberts is really looking at, okay, is there going to be a matchup that he sees? You know, if he's able to get Solarte, you got Jabari Blash, and then you got Spangenberg, a lefty, up in that 8th inning.
Eric Ibar just activated today. He's a switch hitter. He's on the bench. Two and 2 to Solarte. Struck out, and an infield hit. Flash on deck. Morrow delivers. And Solarte takes high and away. Kershaw, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, no walks. He had 1 3-ball count. Solarte has worked a full count with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th against Brandon Morrow, who strikes out the side. Nothing across for the Padres. We go to the 8th. Dodgers looking for a little insurance, leading at 1-0.
You can take an all-access look at Kershaw's annual Ping Pong for Purpose event as Hollywood's biggest stars battle it out in the Celebrity Ping Pong Tournament. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers 2017 Kershaw's Challenge, Wednesday right after the postgame show on Sportsnet LA.
Justin Turner leads off in the 8th inning. He was left standing at the altar when Chris Taylor was picked off by Phil Maton in the 7th. Turner 2 for 3 tonight, has his average back to .330. No balls and 2 strikes to Justin Turner. Bellinger on deck and Grandal to follow. Turner hit just .245 in August. So the dog days of August happily in his rearview mirror. Into right center field, and Turner with his third hit of the night. It's going to be at least a double. He'll hold at second base with a leadoff double in the 8th inning. A down payment on some insurance.
Well, the Dodgers could definitely use some insurance runs here in the 8th inning, and we were talking about it, Charlie. Talked about how he's been struggling a little bit over the last 11 games, coming into hitting under 200 in his last 11 games, but all it takes sometimes is that one where you reach out, get off the end of the bat, gets a base hit back in the 4th inning. Since then, he's got a line drive single in the 6th, and then a double in the right center gap.
And the Dodgers have an insurance run at second base with nobody out. Phil Maton's night is done. Padres making a pitching change.
Brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com.
Kyle McGrath called up today on 1st of September. At the big league level, not so much. But at AAA El Paso in his last 5 outings, an ERA of $1.50. So this is the time of the year when teams can beef up their rosters. And that's one of those logistical arguments that's just never made any sense. Play 5 months to win a championship, and then in the 6th month, as you head to the finish line, you change the rules of the game. Cody Bellinger 1 for 3. Takes high and away, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, we'll see numerous games down the stretch here where you might see 5 pitchers in the middle of an inning when you're just playing matchups.
Yeah.
Because you have them.
So Bellinger poked a base hit to left field against the shift in his last at-bat. Was struck out twice before that. Slowly hit to second base. Mission accomplished as Turner gets to third base, and Bellinger out by a half a step.
Doesn't square it up the way he would want it to. Hustling down the line the way you're supposed to, and gets the job done.
So Turner and Spangenberg in conference at third base, with Chris Woodward listening in, and the Padres bringing the infield in for Yasmani Grandal. 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. Dodgers 1-0 with 1 out here in the 8th. And Grandal takes a strike. It's 0-1. Grandal hitting .240 from the right side. .268 is a left-handed batter. Outfield straight away, the infield all the way in as Turner leads off third. Grandal checks his swing. And it's 1-1. Dodgers, of course, got Grandal from San Diego from Matt Kemp. One and one. Grandal to left. Is it fair? No. You know, Grandal was a first-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in 2010. He came over here with Yonder Alonso, Edinson Volquez, and a deal for, at one time, a highly prized pitcher named Matt Latos. And the Dodgers got him from the Padres in 2014. 1-2. All down on strikes.
Frustrating at bat for Yasmani Grandal and for the Dodgers. Hit one down the line that just goes foul, and then this one where he knew as he started swinging it was already like, what am I chasing? A pitch out of the zone.
Now it's up to Puig. 0 for 3 tonight. Fly to center, took a call, third strike, and fouled out to Myers. Takes high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. While hitless tonight, Puig, since August 21st, is hitting near 350. Takes under the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Chase Utley on deck. Puig takes high. Edward Paredes, who had been warming up earlier, has sat down. Tony Watson warming in the Dodger pen. Now here's Puig, who has now received the 4th ball for free. Now a look at the top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco, and it came off the bat of Chase Utley. In the 6th inning, knocked in Justin Turner, the only run of the game to this point.
Up until that point, it didn't seem like the Dodgers were going to be able to figure out Lamet, but Chase Utley coming through in the clutch. Now trying to do the same thing here.
There haven't been very many teams that have figured out Lamet yet. So Utley with a chance to knock in a big insurance run. And there goes Puig. There will be no throw. It took a while to get there.
Well, Chase Utley recognizing, knowing that he's stealing. Let me just kind of square around. I don't know if he thought, wait, was it foul ball? Because nobody came to cover.
Showtime. No balls and a strike. 2nd and 3rd.
You know, Charlie, you were talking about September, about them all of a sudden changing the rules in September. You're right. I don't like that intentionally walk rule where you just go. I mean, that was a perfect example. I mean, one, it doesn't speed up the game, it really doesn't. But Yasiel Puig, for example, works the count. If you want a ball 4, then all of a sudden you change the pitcher to make him throw a pitch. We've seen it before, especially with a man on third. You never know, he could throw it away, and the Dodgers could get a free run.
That 4-finger salute's like cotton candy.
Yeah,
it just doesn't count. Because something bad can happen, and occasionally does on an errant, intentional ball.
And sometimes the intentional ball, when you ask a pitcher to do it, it throws them out of their rhythm.
Absolutely. Roger Clemens could not throw an intentional walk.
Yeah, you're right. If they want, he would just say, "Nope, I can pitch around a guy. I'll make sure
hit
I throw
him."
Ball." Yeah, that too. Yeah, a lot of times he's like, "I'll just save my pitching."
Yeah.
You're going to put me on a pitch count? Watch this.
I saw him at least twice throw a wild pitch and a run scored.
I think that's. I'm not a big fan of that rule for that reason, especially you as an offense. You're thinking, okay, I worked hard to actually get in the position where you feel like you have to intentionally walk our batters. So let me force you to do it.
And it saves no time. Because how many intentional walks a week do you see?
Not many.
There are many ways to shave off minutes and seconds from a game, and that ain't one of them. Until they tell us otherwise, apparently it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes, second and third, 2 out, 8th inning. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead and looking for more with Utley taking high and outside. Now, if Utley gets on, Alex Verdugo in his major league debut will hit with the bases loaded. And he's thinking to himself, wouldn't that be great? On 3-2, Utley awaits. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Spangenberg makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers 1-0.
Is our post-game show brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers. Coming up next on Access Sportsnet Dodgers, John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., and Ned Colletti will break down Clayton Kershaw's brilliant performance after coming off the disabled list, not having pitched since July 23rd, has not skipped a beat. And so far, Chase Utley's RBI, the difference in this game, guys.
And what a game it's been on a night where Clayton Kershaw, in his first start since the 3rd week of July, couldn't have been any better. 7 strikeouts, no walks, 1 3-ball count. Brandon Morrow in the 7th struck out the Padres 1-2-3. And now it is Tony Watson. He'll be facing Jabari Blash, which sounds like a James Bond character. Corey Spangenberg and Austin Hedges. And if he gets the job done in the 8th, it'll be Jansen in the 9th. Watson misses high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Arizona beats the Rockies 9-5. The Rockies are taking on water. The Diamondbacks are hot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tony Watson. By the way, the Diamondbacks with their win tonight have won 7 in a row and 9 of their last 10. So they're in the process of ensuring themselves home field advantage in the wild card game. Wild card game sounds much better than play-in. But you're 1 and done.
Yep. I like the way they added that, because it really forces you to say, oh, I don't want to be that wild card game.
The other side of the coin is teams go all in just for the opportunity to play 1 game. And they will occasionally invest their future for that 1 game. 2-2 to Jabari Blash, who has bounced to 3rd and taken a called 3rd strike. And here's Watson delivering. That's 4 strikeouts in a row for Dodger pitching. And 11 on the night.
Good job by Tony Watson, going with a nice off-speed, nice changeup. Starts off bottom part of the strike zone. Falls right out, gets a swing and a miss. Able to get that swing and the miss because the pitches earlier with the fastball able to catch the bottom part of the strike zone for strikes.
Spangenberg pops it up. Turner. 2 out. The Dodgers outfield tonight might as well have left their gloves at home. There has not been an outfield out tonight. 11 strikeouts. And a collection of groundouts and pop-outs.
I think they're fine with it.
Yeah, we'll take it every time. Now here's Austin Hedges, and he is the only Padre who has not struck out tonight. He was robbed of a base hit by Bellinger in the 2nd inning, making a backhanded play and a throw to Kershaw cover. Padres with a base hit in the 1st and a base hit in the 5th. That's it. No walks, no nothing. Dodgers only with a 1-0 lead because they're 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Now the 0-2. Hector Sanchez in the on deck circle should Hedges keep the inning alive. Sanchez, the former Giant backup catcher, has become quite an accomplished pinch hitter. But he won't bat in the 8th as Watson strikes out Hedges, and now every one of the 8 batters for San Diego tonight has been struck out. We'll go to the ninth.
You know Adrian Gonzalez and Justin Turner are the best. So join us on Wednesday when the Dodgers close out a 3-game series with the D-backs. The first 40,000 fans will receive an Adrian Gonzalez bobblehead in a selfie pose presented by State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Left-hander Jose Torres now on in relief in the 9th inning in his 56th appearance. ERA of 4 3/4, 58 strikeouts in 61 innings. And he's held opponents to a .243 batting average. And Alex Verdugo in his major league debut tonight, 0 for 2 and a walk. Koye Dixon, who was also called up today, apparently is going to make a start tomorrow in one of the 2 games in the day-night doubleheader, which means these clubs have a fairly quick turnaround and a long day ahead of them. Brock Stewart will pitch the first game against Clayton Richard. Yu Darvish and Jordan Lyles will pitch the nightcap that game at 7:10.
So very rare doubleheader here at Petco. It would be the second ever at Petco Field.
But remembering the rain back in May that night, we get it.
And I'll tell you, most teams really like, if you're looking at doubleheaders, when to reschedule, you like to see if you can do that in September because you know you're going to be able to expand the roster.
Verdugo come back. So a lot of this afternoon, as players were arriving, they were welcoming in some of the new fellas. There was some great camaraderie going on down there.
Question about it, Charlie. And the one thing about Koye Dixon, Dave Roberts really likes him in the batter's box and certainly can play infield and outfield. He did say, though, that Koye Dixon's role here is going to be to learn the game at the big league level, but also to give guys a break. You had already mentioned that he's probably going to get a start in one of the 2 games tomorrow for the doubleheader. Alex Verdugo, though, a little bit more of a role because they want to see him be able to play. Wouldn't commit to him being in the postseason conversation, but definitely want to have more eyes on him, as he's certainly been impressive at the AAA level and perhaps could do something for them down the stretch.
There's a Koye in the middle of Yasiel Puig and Rich Hill. And here's Kike Hernandez pinch hitting for Tony Watson.
And I think down the stretch, there's going to be a lot of people competing to try to be on that playoff roster. I think Dave Roberts, it's not just Alex Verdugo, is going to give a lot of people some opportunity to show him that they deserve to be on that roster.
We've only seen Verdugo with our own eyes a few games in spring. He's can tell us much more about his hitting skills, but the way they talk about him at Double and Triple A for Dugo is quite a defender in center field.
He can play all three outfield positions. They really like the routes he takes in the outfield. Can track the ball down. He's got one of the strongest arms in the outfield in the minor leagues. I think they were saying even when he was drafted, said he could get on the mound and he could pitch, and he threw in the high 90s on the mound. So what's impressive to me about Alex Verdugo is him getting called up. It wasn't because it was planned, it's because he earned it.
Hernandez with a base hit into left field. A 1-out single to left in the ninth. Well, as you might expect, in a one-run game in a save situation, there's Kenley Jansen. On a night like this, it sure don't take long. Get warm.
I really like when the Dodgers take away the save opportunity for Kenley. They've done that quite a bit this year, where he's up and they're like, all right, it's not a save situation, Kenley, which means they are getting some runs up late in the game.
Well, the last few nights, the Dodgers put up runs late in the game and still can't come up short. But tonight, one run in the 6th inning. A 2-out single to center for Chase Utley. And that's it. Dodgers 1 run and 9 hits, but 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The Silver Fox. Granderson on deck. Taylor nearly gets hit. Dodgers looking to put an end to that 5-game losing streak. The way they played this year, a 5-game losing streak is so unseemly. What's been interesting being around the club, of course, while you read the papers and watch the highlight shows and the radio shows, there is no concern. This is just a rough stretch. It happens. Dave Roberts has not flinched at all, nor has the club. It's easy to do when you're 50 games over 500.
Exactly. When you're thinking about, yeah, well, the calendar turns September. What's your record? Oh, we have 91 wins.
Justin Turner is one of those guys who has preached passivity during all of this. It's all right. We're here. We're going about our business. And when the Dodgers are going through those remarkable few months, it was the same kind of reaction. We have a game to play today, and after today, we got another one tomorrow. Taylor down on strikes for the 2nd out of the 9th. With 2 out, Granderson coming up.
You're right, Charlie. You're thinking about when they were on that incredible run. And of course, there's so many months, and they're breaking records, historic wins. And they didn't even know. They didn't even care. Dave Roberts, even as a manager, didn't even know. It's like, oh, well, that's great. We're just worried about today.
And we, up here in the booth, are not consulting record books. In the center field, Margot is there. We're consulting record books, but history books. And so now the Dodgers are 3 outs away, and Jansen will be coming in, trying to protect a 1-0 lead. Gots to be the shoes of Kenley Jansen. Well, here's Kenley in search of his 36th save. Alana, the shoes.
Yeah, those are size 13 Jordans. Kenley Jansen with a very nice Nike contract, specifically a fan of the Jordans. And when asked Dave Roberts if it was okay if he wore those to you, he said, I like the shoes. I'm sure Kenley can pay the fine for Major League Baseball.
He can pick up the tab. Meanwhile, Kenley, of course, has just been brilliant this year. Earned run average of 123. 93 strikeouts in 58 innings, which just doesn't seem fair. Eric Ibar, just recalled today, leads it off in the 9th. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Dodgers 1-0. They've out hit the Padres 9-2. And it's high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So for Ibar, it's been a long year. And Jansen falls behind 2-0. Jansen has had 12 3-strikeout innings this year in his 1-inning appearances. Utley, 1 gone.
Lana was touching on the gold shoes from Kenley Jansen. Talking about a fine. He may be able to get away with it today because everybody's wearing gold. They're going gold ribbons. You see that on their chest there. It's for childhood cancer awareness. Let's see what Justin Turner. He went to the hospital and has a few of the cancer patients. Autographs. Designing his shoes.
1 out. Manuel Margot is 1 for 3 tonight. He has one of the 2 Padre hits. Jansen delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Azueje is on deck. We'll be back with you tomorrow. About 12:30 for game 1 of the day-night doubleheader. So get a good night's sleep tonight. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. Nothing in 2 to Margot. Twelve Padres have been struck out so far tonight. One and 2. That's Alan Porter. He'll be calling balls and strikes in the first game tomorrow. Jansen on 1 and 2. The Dodgers 2 outs away from their 92nd win. And Jansen want to get on the same page. One gone, bottom of the 9th. Popped up. Bellinger gives way to Grandal. 2 out. And Azueje is being called back, and Hector Sanchez will pinch hit. He's had some late inning heroics and has broken his former team, the Giants' hearts twice. He has 3 pinch hit home runs. Dodgers 1 out away. Sanchez is 4 for 10 against Jansen. 1 ball, no strikes. Jansen in search of his 36th save. The 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1. They have the shift on for the switch hitting Sanchez, batting from the left side. Now the 1-1 is 1-2. Inside Petco Park, it's a Dodger blue crowd, all standing as one. And now the magic number is 13 as Kenley Jansen notches his 36th save. Clayton Kershaw, brilliant in 6 innings, strikes out 7, gets the win, and the Dodgers are down to a lucky 13. Magic number as they shut out the San Diego Padres 1-0 for the Dodgers, their 14th shutout of the year, and their 5-game losing streak is in the rear view mirror. Our Lexus player of the game, who else? Kershaw, 76 pitches tonight were for strikes. He had a grand total of 1 3-ball count. 70 pitches, 53 for strikes. Couldn't have been any better. And so that is a wrap for us from Petco Park in San Diego. Kershaw leading the Dodgers to their 1-0 win. For Nomar Garciaparra, Alana Rizzo, and our entire Sportsnet LA crew, Charlie Steiner from Petco Park. Coming up next, Access Sportsnet LA. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.